Following the success of Snow Patrol's latest #1 album, The Forest Path, lead singer Gary Lightbody, well, he's written an accompanying book sharing the inspiration behind the songs, which includes the death of his dad. It comes as the band prepare for Glastonbury this summer. Will they be performing their biggest hits? Gary, it's so good to see you. And can I just say congratulations on this book. The Forest is the Path is what the book is called. It's so beautifully written. I knew it would be because you're such a good songwriter, but you know, sometimes it doesn't necessarily work as a book, but it really does.
Thank you very much.
It really does. It's really gorgeous. I had to read it in one go. I've never read something about someone's death before. You obviously write about your father's death that resonated so much. You know, it's so from the heart.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and it's a bit of a difference writing a book than writing songs. Sometimes you can be done with a song in 30 minutes, and sometimes it takes a lot longer than that.
Of course.
But yeah, it was more about the sort of discipline of sitting down and actually writing it.
Well, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did. It's kind of a companion to the album. You were saying you don't necessarily have to have listened to the album to get the book, but actually I think I found you get more from the book if you'd listened to the album.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
It stands alone. It stands alone as well.
It's definitely not homework for anybody.
No, it's not at all.
Nobody needs to do it. But yeah, there's part of it is about the making of the album. Some of it's about the themes of the album. But I think that most of it is about the 4 days after my dad passed away.
Oh, it's incredible. There was a bit in there that was quite remarkable when you were in a car park, I think, and you met a musician that goes into the place where your dad was, and a volunteer. And that was, tell me about that, because that gave me goosebumps, did that?
Yes, he just passed away, and we had to go, me and my mate went and got the death certificate and all the things you need to do after it. And we got back to the nursing home, and other extended family had started to arrive. And a guy stopped me in the car park and said, your dad, when we play in the nursing home, your dad always requests Chasing Cars. And
you didn't know that?
I didn't know that, and it was such a lovely thing to hear. But then he asked me how he was, and I just said he's fine, because I couldn't say the words out loud at that point. But yeah, it was lovely to hear that he was requesting Snow Patrol songs. Bless him.
I know. But the thing is about the kind of person your dad was, he wouldn't really be. It's about like my dad would be. They don't really tell you at the time, when you've got time. They don't tell you. It's only afterwards you find out all these amazing things.
Yeah.
He was quite the man. I bet he was so proud of you, but he'd probably not tell you that very often.
No, he wouldn't. But he would say the code for him telling me he was proud was saying, "You're some operator."
You're some operator. Oh, I like that. I do like that. I think that's really lovely. And your mum gave you his ring. Yes. And that's a precious thing as well to have, isn't it?
It is. It's nice to have a little something to remember him by.
Yeah.
I take it with me when I'm going up to the...
Do you feel like, because you said, and you talk about it in the book, how you didn't cry for a long time, and you're sort of like quite... You went into that sort of practical mode, of you have to get the death certificate, you have to do all of these things. And it's sometimes, because grief can... Everybody deals with it differently, don't they? But I think this will really help anybody who's lost someone.
If it does, I'd be absolutely delighted. But that it would help in some small way. But I was just trying to figure out how I was getting through it, because it was a full year before I cried, and I just went completely numb. I didn't really understand what was happening. I'm a pretty emotional person, so for me it was a very strange.
It's fascinating, that, isn't it? How you can kind of shut down. I wonder if it's some sort of protection in your head. I don't know.
It could have been. I didn't quite understand what happened until I started writing about it.
The thing is, being somebody who's so creative and who writes so beautifully, and I hope you're doing more writing.
I am.
You have to.
I am writing. Thank you.
You really do. So you're writing a novel, I would have thought. Yeah. And are you enjoying that as much as you enjoy songwriting?
No, because I think the thing I love about songwriting, and the thing that's always going to make it the thing I most enjoy in the world, is the collaboration with Johnny and Nathan.
Right.
Getting to write with them, getting to play with them. We're about to go on tour in North America today. We're leaving today.
Are you? Are you leaving right now?
We're leaving this afternoon.
Have you packed? Are you sorted? Are you organised?
I've packed. I'm not normally organised, but I did this time.
Today. Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. And then obviously Glastonbury is coming up as
Glastonbury's
well.
coming up.
That's a big deal.
Yes, it's our first Glastonbury in 21 years. We're so excited.
That's a long time to not have been doing it. You were supposed to, weren't you?
Yes, we were supposed to, and Johnny got a very bad injury, and we couldn't do it. And but this time we're really excited about playing it, and the whole summer's worth of festivals as well.
That's great. Do you still love it as much as you did when you started out? Is it better now?
I might even love it more.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Because that's excellent. Yeah. That if you do, because what I love about you guys and when you're on, it's you never phone it in. You never do, and there are people that do. You never phone it in. You're there, and it's 100% commitment, and it's just wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I've fangirled. I'm so sorry. But honestly, you know that way that I do get, I'm so lucky that I get to read books before they're published sometimes. And this was just, I read it in a winner, and then I read it again. So thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck with it. And Gary's book, The Forest is the Path, is out right now. You do not have to be a fan of Snow Patrol. If you're not, why not? You don't need to be to really get so much out of this book. Thank you so much.